Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dynamite After Dark. This is your host, Zanman Shane Sabunia, the King of Expatriates, along with my good buddy Jeff. And Jeff, I think somebody really needs to explain to All Elite Wrestling. Not that again, I'm not grateful that they're giving us entertainment in this time when hardly anything else is, but that not only can a match between Shawn Spears and Cody Rhodes not hold us captive for two straight commercial breaks, like within 3 minutes of each other. But Shawn Spears should not be main eventing two straight Dynamites in a row.
Here's the funny thing. Before this call, we were setting up. I set up YouTube, set up, why are we still on?
We are.
At this point, I don't even know, but I set up the YouTube feed.
Well, I'll even go a step further. If he's in the main event next week, we're not doing this show.
No,
I can't do it. I can't. I
In fact,
well well well. Well, if we do it, it's not going to be with me being able to comment on the main event because I'll shut the fucking show off.
I I was gonna ask you about this too. Next week, I am kid free, so live.
Well, I don't think I have anything. I don't think I have anything else going on, so it probably worked pretty well.
Shawn Spears is not going to be a part of it. It was perfect. Out of the so, and we will still see our
In fact, I think I'll raise you one on that. I think I'll run to A&W, grab a burger and fries, and this weekend I'll pick up like a 6 pack of Angry Orchard or something, and I'll probably be drunk by the time we're done with it, by the time the show's over.
you want to, maybe run some over to me. I'm in Florida. I keep burning fries.
No, because then I'd have to go all the way to Hibbing, and that would be breaking quarantine.
No, it's not. Not, not if you're delivering your best burger and fries.
The tough thing would actually be going to A&W and not getting root instead of drinking the Angry Orchard along with it.
Well, you can mix things. It's mixes well with root beer.
Yeah, but the A&W root beer is so good. I don't even like. I don't honestly. The A&W root beer is so good. I don't even like making root beer floats out of it. I mean, I do because my wife loves it. So I've had that a couple of times over the last week. But really, I really like the A&W just straight. Honestly.
I'm not gonna disagree with you. I'm an A&W fan, but only a root beer fan. Who's got a bar on a dab root beer.
See, I can't do Barks just because I know there's caffeine in it, and there should never be caffeine in root beer.
I ignore that fact because I enjoy the caffeine.
Ah, makes sense.
So, anyway, tonight's show.
I could have used more caffeine tonight because I could barely stay awake during. The show was bad in my opinion. I mean, in a lot of ways, it's I want these types of shows to be with some jobber matches sprinkled in there and some solid wrestling sprinkled in there. But the last half hour, I couldn't stay awake. I kind of dozed off during the Jake Hager promo things, and I didn't like that it opened with a jobber match. Um, I think if it opened up with Hikaru Shida versus Britt Baker, I would have been a lot more enthused about the show overall.
See, and mine was my reaction tonight was kind of mixed. Like,
Hmm.
it's like so
I felt that way. Yeah, I felt that same way too. I mean, it was at least 20 minutes, I would say. And yeah, and Baker, the only thing the only thing I can say negative about Chelsea Baker versus Hikaru Shida is that, and yes, I'm keeping the Chelsea thing going, is that is that I think they really need to have Baker come out, and I don't know if they'll even do this because they taped all these shows in a row knowing they were going to be shut down. I think that what happened in that match in the last 5 minutes or so, it really needs a strong heel promo by Baker the following week, just because with her fighting with the way her face was bloodied and stuff, it's a lot like Austin did at WrestleMania 13, it has the ability to turn her baby face after so much work is turning her heel, in my
Well,
opinion.
she kind of delivered somewhat what we were looking for in her little promo. I think it was after the segment, where she basically said she got it and blah blah blah. But it was exactly
Yeah.
I think at this point it doesn't have to be picked up. Um,
I think she's yeah, and I do agree with you. I think she's improving quite a bit. A lot of times that's the way it is with young wrestlers. Like they're just not going to work as a baby face, and it's and um, even though it's usually the heel that kind of controls the pace of a match, it's still a great learning experience to be a heel and play that role in the match. And I think Baker's really coming into her own by doing that. And when you're against someone with I mean, she's new to American fans, but somebody with the experience that Hikaru Shida does in Stardom and other Joshi promotions, um, being in there guiding her, I think helps a lot as well. And she got a great rub by being strong against the number one woman in the company.
well, and just like everything about her performance, I love the creepy look in her eyes when they pan the camera on her after she realized she was bleeding. I love her performance. I love her performance getting out talking about what that it was.
Absolutely. Um, you know, and I was just thinking, I was just thinking, I see that she is the number one woman in the promotion. And I meant talent wise, but she's also the number one contender. And it made me think, like, Nyla Rose hasn't been around probably because of the stuff going on with COVID. Um,
Right.
but I wonder what the deal is with Hangman Page not being around. Because he was there for the first couple of weeks, and I'm just wondering, did they decide since they're not doing the blood and guts that they're just going to keep him off of there, or do you think it was Hangman's choice? Because I think it's a wise decision to keep the hottest guy in the company away when there's not crowds out there to keep him going hot.
Well, but I think they could have kept him on, front and center by at least doing some promos, maybe just some stuff about him, being addicted by school drinking or, whatever he was doing. And I just had a ridiculous fun tonight. Uh, even though he might have lost time which it,
Yeah, yeah, maybe they could do that weekly with guys like Pac and Darby and Hangman. Even guys like what do they call themselves? I can't even think of the name. That I just lost it. Jack Evans and his partner. You know,
Oh yeah, hybrid too.
hybrid two. Yeah. So
You're gonna have to help me here because I have a little bit of shenanigans during the end of that friend trip. Who won that? Who
uh,
was the best friend?
best friends one of the strong zero.
Okay, yeah, and that makes sense because they were battling for the best friend name, which was a weird thing.
It really was. I did like Jericho's idea though. They should call themselves whatever the Japanese word for best friends. That cracked me up, and it cracked me up even more that I thought Jericho probably wouldn't actually know what that phrase was, considering his years spent in. I mean, I know he's not fluent in Japanese, but I would have thought he would have been able to put those two words together. You know.
I I love Jericho on commentary. He talks a lot, which is not normally something that I like out of a color guy. I mean, he talks way more than a color guy should. But I have not had a commentator in years. He's there, great. Um,
I think my favorite thing that he said was, and because it was funny the way he delivered it, but also because you and I believe it to be the truth. Where Shivani said, "There's been a lot of great wrestlers to come out of Canada, haven't there, Chris? And I bet you're one of them, right?" And Chris said, "Yeah, I'm the best wrestler to come out of Canada or anywhere else."
I love the fact that he kept calling Shivani Skibihani,
Schiavone.
Skivone. I just he cracked me up on everything. He might be my favorite commentator ever.
Were you like me that in that I think it was the women's match when he was like um the the well-schooled feet or the learned feet or what is that line supposed to be? Is Schiavone and Tony's like, yeah, well-schooled feet sounds right. And then a couple, I was like yelling at my TV. It's like it's educated feet. It's educated feet. Like 2 minutes later, he's like, there's those educated feet again. He goes, oh, I got it, Tony. I got.
Yeah, he was Jericho was phenomenal. It's like he just my and when he was talking about during the tag match, and he was like, now we have and all the best now and when
Yeah, and the other thing about that tag match is I've never really been impressed with Michael Nakazawa, but I did like some of the stuff he did in this match. I like the spot with the chops and the baby oil. And I loved when he was doing that train thing, like when he had Trent at the where he had his crotch on the turnbuckle and he was like a train, like he was running when it went to commercial. That cracked me up too.
he I if the wrestling on tonight's show, I really enjoyed the women's match.
Hmm.
Really enjoyed that as far as wrestling goes. I kind of got the Shawn Spears
Yeah,
which
because Shawn Spears was in it. Oh, sorry.
weird because I really like both guys, but I just didn't feel like anything was special. And to be honest, I'm getting sick of Cody having to get dropped twice.
I'm getting sick of Cody being able to use the belt in the middle of the match and not get disqualified or even admonished for it.
Is it just me? I mean, Cody is one of the best in the world, and there's no question about that. But this match with Casey has been amazing.
Hmm. They have.
Like every match he's doing is enjoyed and pulled, and at he's but
Do you ever feel like after watching what Cody does now and what Jay Lethal has done for the last couple of years, that you and I step through a wormhole into a different reality where people don't know how to counter the figure four.
Yeah,
Because
and
for
the fact that he
because
he
for
got pinned by a figure four is obnoxious.
yeah, because for like 30 years, like we've watched guys like Ric Flair and Buddy Rogers and Buddy not who am I Buddy Landell and even uh Dusty Rhodes, like do the figure four, and they people would roll over to counter it, or they crawl to the ropes to be able to counter it. And now it seems like nobody knows that there's counters to the figure four.
Well, in all fairness, the only time Flair was ever countered on the figure four was when he was the baby face. The figure four actually worked, and then when he turned heel, then all of a sudden he was countered. And I think that is because and when he became the baby face, it worked. I don't know if there's continuity there, but he is
See, because I feel like for years, and I forgot to say Eddie Gilbert not in that rant I was doing, but I feel like for the first 20 years I watched wrestling, if not more, that every time I saw somebody get into figure four, or at least once a match I saw somebody get into figure four, they would turn it over on them, and then they'd have to both throw to the ropes and get broken up. And now that seems like it doesn't happen anymore, and it's just weird.
yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. Like obviously, rolling over somebody over to a figure four does not actually reverse the pressure. But I mean that's been the narrative over the last 30 years.
And that was a lot of Ric Flair. I mean, when Flair was the heel, and Flair spent the majority of his career as a heel, that figure four out professional every single time. It was the same thing with his with most of the instructions from he gets
Yeah.
or gets over to the other side. So, um,
And
also,
how the hell did I not see Greg the Hammer Valentine? Sorry, go ahead.
when you're talking about figure fours, seriously, how could you not? I'm not gonna lie. One of my first favorite ever tag teams was um, the Dream Team, Greg Valentine and Speed.
Yeah.
That was when I first started wrestling with the Rockers, and it was so I
So did my brother. My brother Trav was a big Brutus the Barber BK fan.
I actually remember shaving my head when I was a kid. Same with Brutus as everybody else. Instead of gentleman. I actually I remember being on my seventh grade
I can just picture you like walking down, like as a kid, like walking down the halls of school with those hedge clippers, just chopping.
I came close. No, Brutus was my favorite for a long time, and it wasn't just I have it out in my mind figure pedestal because you're a kid and you can figure pedestal was like the baby my favorite like before that. Yeah,
Yeah, I was actually going to say that I know that another tattoo he loved a lot was the Rockers, especially when they were the Midnight Rockers in AWA.
oh my
And
god,
and
yeah.
uh, and the latest Crime in Sports is about Marty Jannetty and all his troubles with the law. So you may want to, and it's like a 3 hour episode.
I'm
Plus,
going.
pl-
I've got it saved. It's something I'm definitely gonna watch. I'm just trying to find the time to see.
plus this is the first week that my wife signed up for their Patreon show, and at the end of every one of their shows, they read off a list of all their what they call their producers that appear on that do their Patreon, and you'll love to hear the way they butcher my last name on there.
Nice. I got to listen for that.
It's worse than Schiavone. I'll tell you that much right
I don't know. If funny. I just absolutely love that character. I watch the color every single week. Like I said, he talks way more than he should, but fun. It's not. Where
now. And from what I've read, he's the color commentator for the next 3 weeks of
oh,
TV at least too. You
I'm
know,
so happy about that.
I still would really love to see him and Cody on opposite sides of Shivani, sandwiched between them. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Cody. My problem with Cody on commentary is he was too much of a baby.
Right, and I just think that the dynamic of those two having to work that close to each other and talk back and forth when they're leading their respective teams against each other in blood and guts and they already have this rivalry, and Jericho calling him an idiot every week would just be great. You know,
I think I loved. I don't know the pineapple Bill. I think I was in the audience.
Pineapple Pete.
Pineapple Pete that he kept referencing in the audience. He was so much fun.
That was the other thing with the Cody match. Thank you for bringing that up. Is like they did so much in this match that if I liked Shawn Spears even a little bit, even if I had a little bit in me that to have the ability to like Shawn Spears, I probably would have been cheering for Shawn Spears against Cody tonight because of the belt thing, because Cody was having Pineapple Pete hold Shawn Spears for him to attack him, because Brandy Rhodes was interfering for Cody, and then because of the whole the double crossroad thing not being able to get the job done, and are you kidding me with the announcers not being able to believe that people kick out of the crossroads anymore, because nobody the crossroads doesn't finish anybody off anymore ever,
No, because there's
ever.
two or three of them every match.
Yeah.
And the thing about Cody is he is the classic baby face heel. He does the shortcut. He does you know, a lot like the ice. Um,
Yeah, and if he was doing eye rakes and you know rope rakes with across the ropes with the head and things like that, I'd be that'd be one thing. But when he's actually using interference in front of the referee and foreign objects in front of the referee and not getting disqualified for it, then that isn't just him being a heel. That also breaks the reality of the rules of this universe.
yeah, but it's that classic. Because Hogan was the same way. Hogan was face, but he waved out the eye poke and all that stuff. And he is kind of the aura that in that.
No, I disagree. When Hogan used the weight belt, it was when he was a heel as part of the NWO.
Yeah, but when he joined the red and black, he still used it. When he went back to his yellow and red, he played that.
But I don't think he did it in front of the referee at those times.
Oh, okay.
I think when he was in NWO, he did it in front of the referee. But you could make the argument that the referee was was being cowed by the NWO because they beat the shit out of everybody.
right.
And you could also make the argument that the referee was letting it go because he wanted somebody to beat the NWO and take the
And it
title
was
away from them. You know.
and it was also when Neil Patrick was the referee.
Yeah, that's another good point.
So
So I mean, there's reasons for it there. Whereas, what is it that that Cody is such a dictator that that if somebody disqualifies him, he's going to fire them because I don't buy that with his
well,
character. So
he is the EVP.
yeah, but is that part of his character that he's that much of an asshole? It's not.
No,
You
I
know.
mean, I agree with you. I'm not a fan of it. I think it's stupid, and I don't like the fact that they do it. But I do kind of, I
Yeah, I mean it's weird because I do think he's one of the best storytellers in the world. But
oh yeah,
I'm getting to the point where I don't want to watch him wrestle anymore.
and I agree with that too. I've gotten to that over the last probably 3 weeks, where it's like every match that Cody has done has been the same match that he did last over month before. I wait, wait, but where
I think with me it started with the cage match against Wardlow because he had no business winning that match.
no, okay, that's probably yeah, probably, but that whole feud kind of that too.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I mean, it ended up with MJF winning, which he had to given everything else that had gone on. But but I still think that Cody should have lost that cage match because he still could have gotten his ass kicked in it, and he still could have looked strong, but lost to Wardlow like he should have. So
Cody should have lost all of those counts. He should have been on a losing streak going into the match.
yeah, I mean, I remember that you and I going into it, were like, we could have been so excited for this feud, for this match, and we're just totally it's a wet popcorn fart.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. Yeah,
But then we really enjoyed watching the match and that whole pay per view. So
yeah.
um, I don't know if you saw this or not, Jeff, but Fight TV announced today that they have a new service called Fight TV Plus, where you can sign up for it for $5 a month, and you get $2 back every month for that you can use for a future one of their events, and then it's basically like there's events that are like a month old that you have available for free to watch. But so I was like, oh, that might be interesting. So I went and looked at the list, and it's like all the wrestling shows that are on there are like CZW shows, FSW shows, and there's like something called AXW. I was really hoping there was like some GCW stuff, so we could like see like stuff that Joey Janela does with his home promotion, and see him actually look great, as opposed to what he's looked at like in AEW. But unfortunately, that isn't the case.
The CZW stuff wouldn't be bad, especially if they give us some of the older stuff.
I didn't go back. I didn't keep going back and looking, but it looks like there's stuff that's at least a year old on there.
If they went back to like 2010, 2011, some of the Moxley stuff, some of the I can't remember the other guy's name.
Did they even have Fight TV in 2010, 2011?
Did they need it? if they get the rights to the library.
Well, that's true. But I'm guessing that this is stuff that actually aired on Fight.
Yeah, yeah. Then probably not worth it, especially with all the other subscriptions. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there might be. I wonder. I'm guessing there might be some of the future stars of wrestling shows that are worth watching. But
And speaking of things, I think I may end up phoning up um universe stuff,
okay.
so we can cover that on future Patreon or YouTube or whatever.
Yeah, I'm watching. Well, I'm behind. I'm 2 episodes or 3 episodes into Titans right now.
I've
But
heard that's amazing.
but I obviously I don't want to start watching. Oh, what's I can't even think of the name of the other show. But there's a spin-off that's basically a spin-off from that show that's kind of like the X-Men. So I'm looking forward to watching that. But they spin off from Titans, so I don't want to watch it until I get through Titans. So
Right. I'm kind of that way with Arrow right now. I'm watching Arrow from the beginning, incorporating the rest of the Arrowverse as I get it. So I'm in like season 5 of Arrow, season 2 of Black, season 1 of Supergirl, and trying to get to that. So
yeah,
I get that.
with Black Lightning, I don't think it matters when you watch that because that doesn't actually spin off from Arrow. So
It's still part of the Arrowverse, so it doesn't come in until season 8, 7, maybe 7.
the only time that Black Lightning mixes in with the other shows is during Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is in the final season of of Arrow. So it'll be season 8. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still gonna watch that. I've read them all in order. It's got Legend coming up next. And it used to be first 3 seasons of Legend, the first 4 seasons Flash, then the first season of Supergirl. But I'm still watching through Legend as they were done in reality.
The funny thing is that I told you that I got it partly to watch the DC animated universe movies, and I watched the Flashpoint Paradox, and then like the day after I watched the Flashpoint Paradox, I saw an article where it was like the top, the DC animated movies ranked in order, and Flashpoint Paradox was like the 26th best one, and I was like, I fucking love that movie. Are you kidding me?
Well,
But they said it was too dark. They said it was the people the Flash fans finally got a Flash movie and it was too dark. It's like, are you kidding me? That's the entire point of the Flashpoint Paradox is that he's got to save us from a dark universe that's a destroy itself. You know?
when they pull that stuff,
Yeah.
I just hate that. It's like, oh, it's too dark. What do you want? You want to watch a comic book? A funny DuckTales type comic book? Or do you want an actual story?
If it was, but they probably wanted something more like Justice League War, which, despite the name, was pretty campy, really. Um,
A
but
lot of DC is.
but these legions of aliens attacking, and they're able to fight them off pretty handily. But with the Flashpoint Paradox, like if he had saved his mom, and then it turned into like a land of puppies and flowers and rainbows popping up everywhere, and everybody was happy, then what would be the point of him going back and changing reality back the way it was? You
That
know.
was the one thing I did like about the Flash. Uh, like I think it was season 3 that went back to his mom and then realized that nothing was as good as it pretended.
I think it was season 2.
Well, no, it was season
I thought season 3 was that terrible one.
3. Dude, they all had terrible names.
No, season 3 was the one that dragged on and on and on, where he like his future self
Yeah,
was the main boss.
that was the Flash. That
No,
was
no.
yeah, it was. Season 2 is when he ended up fighting Doom from Earth 2, and they inherited the wealth from that. And he was betting, he was trying to get his daughter, and there was all
Okay.
The one that you're thinking about.
Huh. Okay.
Because season 3 is where you got
Maybe I'm thinking of season 4 then. It was
season 4. Before I
maybe season 4 is the one that's a drag then. But
it's possible. It's probably mainly Wally West.
okay.
I've never been a Wally West.
Yeah, I just know that at the end of one of those seasons, I was like, this dragged way too much, um, it ended with a perfect stopping point. So I was like, okay, I'm off. So
To be honest, most 22 episode seasons have a good 3 or 4 episodes that are like, why? Why is it your story? That's why
well, no, I'm not talking about 3 or 4 episodes. I'm talking about an entire season where I kept going. Is something going to happen? Is something going to happen? Is something going to happen? You know. So
yeah, that sounds like
we're way off topic, but I don't care. This wasn't a. I think we've covered everything to cover on this show. So
sounds like every TV I've ever been involved in. Anyway, so next week what are we gonna do? We got Kingdom of Honor. Next week we're gonna do a live play-by-play of of Dynamite, and then if we're still in for that Thursday after some review. What
we are doing Indie Mania Day 1.
are we gonna do both, or we're just doing day 1?
Yeah, because I'm not gonna have time to watch Day 2 all and then also then also refresh myself on Best in the World. So
Okay, so we are doing a Patreon episode.
if you're up for it, if you're not, we won't do it.
Yeah, I can find time.
Okay.
And we'll probably skip the Patreon show, or I'm sorry, the Lock show next week, but we'll get to that.
Probably 3 because you'll have Argo in 2 weeks.
No, in 2 weeks,
Oh, okay.
because I don't have him next week, then I do, and then I don't. Oh, I guess I'm sorry,
I'm counting 3 weeks by going 1, 2, 3.
I count this week 1, then it'll be 3 weeks. Counting next week is week 1,
Why would I count next week as week 1?
because I did. It's just
Maybe you should be drunk tonight too.
Alright, so we're good on AEW tonight. I thought I could wait, and I hated it. So a weird mix of you want me to get three
Um,
but
you know,
at the same point, I'm also giving it kind of a kind eye to the current situation.
yeah, I agree with that. I just can't stand Shawn Spears being in the main event again. I really did enjoy the women's match though. I enjoyed the tag match, and the couple of things we didn't mention was Brody Lee was in another jobber match, and I really would like to hit them to have somebody step up to be his next, or so somebody real for him to face. You know,
I'm a
um,
little annoyed. They went through and did the ranking. There's 2 people that I'm really annoyed at. First of all, Cody being ranked, and Dark Order being ranked. But since the tag title didn't matter,
not that I can think of.
so how are they the number 1 contender?
They're the number one contenders.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
they're 5-0 this year. They were ranked number 1 when they went to the individual.
Oh, I missed that. That might have been when I fell asleep during the
I just
Moxley uh Hager stuff.
I think I'm fed up with the whole ranking system. I think it was done poorly and it has not been course corrected. The fact that they continue to do fatal full play and beginning I
Let me ask you something, because you watched that. Was Jake Hager on the top five?
yeah, he was number one.
Okay, that I don't get, because he only had like two matches.
He's had like four and he's undefeated.
Well, I know he's undefeated, but I thought he only had like two matches.
Jericho was the number two contender. Hager was number one. Cody was number
Yeah, and you know you and I are always gonna have a problem with Cody being on that list, but he's always gonna be on that list. So I think we're gonna have to get over it.
well, and that's why I just think at this point let's just get rid of it.
Yeah, they're not going to.
Yeah,
Um,
I
okay.
unfortunately I know.
Um, but I really want somebody, Brody. They to stick somebody with Brody, put somebody with Brody List can be a real challenge to me. I don't, Christopher Daniels might be able to be that guy, but I would probably rather it be somebody else. Um,
How about we put somebody with Lance Archer that's going to be a challenge? Enough of these jobbers lost it.
well, that has me worried that we're actually going to get Cody versus Lance Archer now in the finals. I mean, I was hoping that Lance Archer would somehow stop Cody from winning, and then Cody would repay that favor to him. But now it looks like they might actually build into that as the final of the TNT title tournament, which I think sucks, honestly.
Well, and unfortunately, I think you're right with the whole Darby Allin thing next week. I really want Sammy to get that spot, but I think you're right. Darby in the second.
Yeah, I really, I really don't want to see Darby lose to Cody again.
No, I don't either.
Um, but the other thing I wanted to talk about was, because we didn't mention it, but is that I'm happy that they're building towards this elite deletion.
Yes.
I really wanted to see Jericho and Hardy on the Hardy compound. Um, After we didn't get blood and guts, and we can't right now, so then building to another big match besides the empty arena title match, I think is awesome. And I think that building to a final deletion style match between these two is awesome as well.
The only my only problem with the final solution match is one of them is going to have to go away.
Go away? Why? Well, yeah, why?
Well, just in character. I mean, if you look at the whole Hardy versus Hardy final solution match, Jeff Hardy ends up taking his character.
Yeah, maybe Jericho just got more psycho.
Yeah, but is he more psycho as the member of the inner circle, or is that still part of Hardy?
Oh, I see. Yeah, I guess we'll have to see. I guess I want to trust them that they're not going to ruin anything by doing it. You know.
They have Shawn Spears in the main event 2 weeks in a row. You really trust them?
Yes, because I think they also have a limited roster that they have to work with right now.
Good point.
And I think and even though Shawn Spears is from Canada, I want to say he does make his residence currently in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
All right.
um, and yeah. So and the other thing, and the other fuck that, and the and the other thing is that if it's true that they taped for about a month, you know, and they have to kind of go off the air for a few weeks, then that works perfectly if the Elite Deletion is in that last show that they recorded on. Then they'll both have to go away for a little bit before they're back on TV.
I would like to, if they do have to shut down taping, I would honestly like to see them go with showing us the AEW card. They've been Memorial what October, and it's just they're out and it's from that of these. So
Yeah, I think another idea would be to show the pay-per-views too.
Yeah, I mean that works, but it would be, personally for me, I think it'd be nice to do something
Right, you've seen them.
I
I've seen them, but there's probably people out there that haven't wanted to, that in this era of streaming services haven't wanted to pay 50 or $60 to watch a pay-per-view. So
I
me
wouldn't
so,
want to either, but I'm all about me. I haven't seen the AEW card. I don't have time. Show them to me for free on
you can watch them for free on TV anytime you want to.
I have no time. All right, so we're good now.
We're good.
Anyway, guys, patreon.com/Honor. You can go there. You can get all of our
Ding dong.
we do this live twice a week. We do at least one. And for a while,
Yeah,
love us more.
as if that's possible. Like we were talking to just a few minutes ago. Next week on Kingdom of Honor, we'll be covering on Tuesday night. We'll be covering the first day of Indie Mania, which took place this weekend. So that's available on the Wrestle Talk YouTube channel. They do put up a lot of content, so you're gonna have to sort through it and find it. But day one aired on Saturday the 4th, and day two aired on Sunday the 5th, just like WrestleMania did. Go on there, watch the shows, go to their GoFundMe page and donate, or go to their website WrestleTalkShop.com and buy a T-shirt to support that event. All the proceeds for either the donation or for buying the T-shirt is divided among the 13 wrestling companies that help put that show together, sending them representative matches from their previous shows to show on. And the main event of day one is actually a Will Ospreay match against um, I can't remember the guy's name, but it's in Melbourne City Wrestling, and it's actually from right after Wrestle Kingdom this year, so it's only a few months old. Um, so go in there and watch it and donate, and then we'll be here to talk about it with you guys next Tuesday. And the next Wednesday, we're going to be doing the live watch along of Dynamite instead of doing Dynamite After Dark. So that'd be pretty awesome. Tomorrow night is MCLP Radio Adventure. On Friday, we have Ms. Fan's Mystery Bag, where he's going to talk about some indie guy that he likes a lot and get Shane to watch it along with him. Not this Shane, the other Shane.
The
That's
nice thing about us doing a live watch along with the AEW next week is the fact that you get to listen to all the crap that we text each other on a weekly basis.
yes.
So there's that.
And you also get to hear me lie, bitch, and moan about there being commercials.
And
So,
Shawn Spears.
God, I hope not. That's all we've got. We'll try to do better next time. This is Shane saying long days, pleasant nights, and Jeff saying
Goodbye.
and good riddance.
G1 Climax 27. Goodbye and good night. Bang.